Story number one. Who's making the money is now becoming an issue in America. Everybody's concerned about who's making the money, where's the money going, how they're spending the money, and if they're stashing the money away for a rainy day. There's a lot going on in this country when it comes to people's finances and figuring out where the mighty dollar is going. Is it going overseas, being stored in overseas bank accounts? Is it staying here, being reinvested into the working class? Is it being put on the black market, given to drug money? Is it off the books, under the table? Who's making the money? There were some stories that surfaced in. It says not only is the president under the scope for profiting off of the presidency, but many other politicians are as well. That includes Democrats, politicians in your country. We've even heard the president shout out some politicians in Baltimore for saying that they were stashed, that the money that was given to them for the city, politicians have been embezzling it. The question is, where is the money? Taxpayers, have they been paying their taxes? It's a lot of going on when it comes to money. Tim Tebow doesn't want college athletes to get paid, but they have to pay college tuition, and they have to also run on the football field. They have to feed themselves. They have to find a job. Wow, it's amazing how you can see this story for what it is. In all purpose in life, when we obtain so much wealth, we obtain so much possessions, and our fellow people around us are suffering because lack of money to pay their own bills. That's becoming a big thing in this American culture, especially when you look at the 1% compared to the 99%. Money is becoming a big issue, and this story has a lot of potential to grow in the upcoming weeks because of where it's at and how much money influences capitalism. Everybody is worried about the mighty dollar. People are worried about where they're spending their money. College students are worried about paying off their debt. Almost, they would probably, I think a story a few weeks ago said about almost 50 to 60%, probably more than that, of Americans struggle with financial debt. So money is becoming a big issue. Does this country have a spending problem? Even the government, when you look at the debt, keeps going up. Trillion, billion, trillion. So we got to look at that. This money thing is a big issue. Financial advisors, when they look at how the economy works and where people spend their money, they often say that people fail to listen to them when they try to give them advice on how to spend. Some people, including myself, have in the past had financial problems, still struggling with financial problems, never feeling like you're getting ahead because you're investing in the people around you, and sometimes you don't see a return. So money is a big thing in capitalism, and it's becoming a big topic of discussion. FBI investigates payroll companies accused of stiffing $35 million from small businesses. Is there a money war going on in America between each class? That's another issue. That was a story that surfaced in about how the rich, middle class, and the poor are battling out. The poor saying that somebody needs to take care of them in democracy, in a representative capitalist democracy. The middle class saying there's not enough jobs, the job doesn't pay enough. And the rich saying we need to pay taxes. Maybe we should be taxed. Some of them saying that we need to go to another country. And this is becoming a big thing. This is a capitalist environment. America, this is how we live. We have to have money to survive, to have the better things in life, the finer things. And it's becoming a big topic of discussion. Key Senate Democrat unveils proposal to tax the rich. Will taxing the rich do anything? We just need them to invest, to spend money. Taxing them. What about the people who are not paying taxes? Do they have enough enough job growth? Are they getting paid enough? Money is becoming a big issue. You heard it if you watched the Democratic debate. The Democrats are talking about give, give, give. But the thing is where is the money going to come from? It has to come from somewhere, and it has to come from the people who have the most. Those are the flaws. You look at every form of government. That's always been a flaw in societal thinking, is when somebody gets comfortable on a stash of wealth, there are tons of people on the bottom needing that money. You can have a book, you can read it for 100 days. If you don't have the things to invest, that book is not worth anything. You have to have something to put things in motion, and that's what capitalism is about. That's why no one can understand economics, because it's a behavior. It's how people's attitude changes towards spending money, and we need the wealthy to start spending money. And that's why story number 1 is a very, very pivotal story. Trump administration proposed putting homeless people in government facilities. As you can see, the reason why, the details in this story, it's all about money. Since the homelessness are not being productive, they don't have enough capital. Put them in government facilities, institutionalize them, train them, put them back in the labor force. This is becoming a big issue, even with veterans, people who have disabilities, even people who are working for free. There was a story that surfaced about how some churches were getting free labor from poor people. If the churches can do it, why can't the government do it? So this is becoming a big problem. The cash, money. A psychic Florida woman who promised to lift a family's curse is sentenced for a $1.6 million scheme. Psychics are even getting in the deal. Psychics are telling people that if they spend money, they can tell them the future. Everybody's trying to make a buck. Businesses on every corner making a profit, even off used tires that probably are worth less than what they're selling them for. Everybody is trying to make money. That's the saddest part about capitalism, is that so many people want to make money, but they often forget about the simplicities and the normal human psyche. It's a very, very scary topic, but I have to take it on. Sometimes money is not everything. Well, they say all money ain't good money. I guess that's the way to put it. Rush Limbaugh says that liberal politicians don't want to fix the homelessness problem. They just want to use it against capitalism. Do you see how big this story could become when you look at what capitalism is and what it turns people into when you have to win the game of obtaining wealth? Is it bad to be rich? Should rich people know what to do with their money? The president himself, this is the richest president ever to be in the White House. This is the big thing in capitalism. Everybody's trying to make a buck. Women are taking off their clothes, dancing in the mirror for the mighty dollar. Folks, this is reality. What happened to the good old days? What happened to the time when there was a little bit of hospitality, a little bit of humor, a little bit of personality? Money is not bad, but when it turns a person into a beast, a savage, what they have to do to obtain that dollar. This is why story number 1 has a lot of potential. FBI arrested former FEMA officials for allegedly misusing Hurricane Maria recovery funds to enrich themselves. You look at this story in the fine print, you read the fine print in the disclaimer. It's telling you what not to do when you get the money. What to do with the money. You have to reinvest it. Being wealthy is a scary position. If people see you preaching about being poor and being a savior coming from the clouds, if they see you riding around in a Lexus when they don't have any shoes on their feet, they're going to start thinking, folks, and they're going to start thinking about that money and the wealth that you're obtaining and where is it going. Money turns the beast into a madman. It turns the savage into a ruthless phenom. Folks, this is a real deal story. U.S. Census Bureau reports poverty rate down, but millions are still poor. Where is the money? Is it in the NFL players' pockets? There's poor people all around us, folks. This story has a potential to be bigger than what it is. It has a potential to explode. U.S. Census Bureau Like I said, reports poverty down. I'll repeat it. They report that poverty is down, but millions are still poor. Study shows that richer Americans live longer than those lower down the ladder. Let me repeat that. Study shows that richer Americans live longer than those that are down on the ladder. That means that poor people are hungry. They need money. And the rich are holding it, stashing it, paying for their kids to go to school. Where is the money? Do you have it? Mediation is tough, but somebody's got to do it. Bank mistakenly put $120,000 into a couple's account and they spent the money. There is no ethics in this, folks. People want money. They don't care whose money it is. They don't care where they get it from. They need the money and they will take it, spend it, and watch you suffer. That's the reality, and that's the toughest part about capitalism. There's fear in capitalism. Atlanta bank truck, I know you remember this story, had money blowing out on the highway and people were picking it up, never intending on giving it back, never intending on knowing where that money is, whose money it was. Pope Francis says poverty is not inevitable. Folks, there's some meaning to this story. There's a lot of meaning in story number one. Who's making the money and why it's now a big issue. Because everybody's worried about the paper, but nobody cares about you. Some people do, but the majority of people are worried about getting ahead, the finances. And that's why story number one is probably going to gain some steam. Your congressmen, your congresswomen, your people in your White House, the people who are representing you, the people in the pews, there are some people out there who have that spirit that wealth is going to change, is going to keep them in that position. And that's what's making story number one gain some steam. And there's some poor savages out there on the street and they want that paper and they don't think academically. They will take it from you. Story number one is a great story. I guarantee it'll gain some substance in the coming weeks. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian Westwood. It's my supreme duty every week to give you the top 8 headlines and developing news stories. I come in here navigating through the news just for you, to give you the top 8 stories that you need to get through your day, giving you the idea that I am just the mediator, staying in the middle, juking and diving my way from the right to the left to give you the top 8 headlines and developing news stories. If you want to contribute or help out, I have to remind you that the news journalists and the people on the front lines deserve all the credit. I just mediate, doing the research to enlighten you. You may not have the time, but that's what I'm here for. I've done my time. I'm still doing time serving this country by mediating. If you want to be a contributor or help out, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program. Every little bit counts. Like I said, if you want to help me out, method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program. There's no jealousy, there's no envy in me. I only see what I can give to my fellow citizens, and that's wisdom and knowledge, information, keeping you informed. So if you want to be a contributor, that's method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program. Every little bit counts.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.